Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another Fiery Fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. In case, let's go ahead, let's just jump into it and show you what we're talking about today. All right, hold on one second. Popping up. There we go. Okay, awesome, great. Oh, hello all. Hi there. Welcome, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us this morning. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So, as far as what we're playing today, we're not subtle today. It is literally just trying to storm off with a ton of dragons. Literal Dragonstorm with one of the most highlighted, most hyped cards currently from the latest set of Tarkir. So, how is this all going to work? Well, for those of you who are new to this, and for those who haven't seen this before, we're going to go over a brief deck tech real quick. We'll go over the stats, we'll cover every single card in the deck, we'll then jump into as many games as possible, and then just try to see how well our budget deck can do. After a certain point, we will try to play an upgraded version of the deck to see how well that does as well, and then we'll wrap up, of course, the stream with a quick little evaluation. Keep in mind that, again, normally we don't stream too long on this channel, but I do appreciate those of you who do watch and who do check in to see what we are playing currently. So, without further ado, let's just talk about our Dragonstorm deck and see what we're working with today. So, Dragonstorm itself, literal Dragonstorm, is going to be a Gruul deck. We're going to be rocking, of course, that means red and green colors. Average mana curve does look a little high at 3.3, but hear me out, it does work. So, this is, of course, for standard, and we're going to be rocking 24 creatures, 4 enchantments, 4 artifacts, 4 battles, and 24 lands. So, how is this all going to go down? Well, as I just mentioned earlier, Stormscale Scion, literally a Dragonstorm card, is going to be the key to our victory here. But even if we don't get this out, we have a great solid backup plan no matter what. The deck is semi-budget, that I do want to mention this right now. An Arena, I believe you could put this together for only 11 rares, which is pretty good in Arena. But in actual paper, some of the cards did spike a little bit, because originally when I had this idea, the deck was about $90-ish and kind of spiked down to, I think, 114. So I do apologize for that, but I try to keep, of course, the first iteration of our live stream decks as cheap as possible, and then we hopefully will then show you what you can do if you want to go all out with the deck later on. So let's begin, of course, with the 1-drop slot here. We have Land of War Elves. Nothing crazy. This is just one of our mana dorks here that can hopefully just start ramming us out into our game plan here. Speaking of ramping out quickly, in the 2-drop slot, we're going to be utilizing Dragonlord Servant here. It makes all of our dragon spells cost 1 less to cast, which is great for us to ensure we can start putting out as many dragons as possible, as fast as possible. Speaking of additional dragons, one of our key pieces here to kind of be a bit of spot removal, but can also be a burn spell in a pinch, Invasion of Tarkir. This is a battle, of course, when it enters, you can then reveal any number of dragon cards from your hand. And if we do, you can do not only shock damage of 2, but plus an additional point of damage for every dragon we reveal. So this can actually be a very, very powerful card as the game scales on. If we manage to then beat the battle and flip it, it becomes Defiant Thundermaw here, which is actually a really, really sweet card for us, because it says whenever a dragon we control attacks, it'll deal 2 damage to any target. That is pretty good for us and a good going rate to just hopefully just ping out our opponent and beat out them. Now, I talked about this card in a previous video that came out earlier this week, but I'm going to talk about it one more time. Sunset Strike Master here, man, what an awesome card. We actually have a legit red mana dork for us. So this human monk is a 3/1. We could tap it to make red, and then for 3 mana and sacrificing the creature, we deal 6 damage to a creature with flying. So this is great for us. It's kind of like an anti-air option against enemy dragon decks or anything else that's flying against us in standard. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure some of you don't want to see this card, but it has to be done at least for our deck here. So up the Beanstalk, yes, we are playing Beans today. Because we are playing a lot of high-level dragons, we want to make sure that we can keep drawing cards and keep building up with our actions. So that's why we have up the Beanstalk. It enters, draws a card, and of course, any spell we cast with a mana value of 5 or greater, we get to draw a card. So great for us to just kind of keep our engine pieces going. Now, in terms of the 3-drop slot here, we have Carnelian Orb of Dragonkind here. This is actually a pretty sweet card for us. If we could tap it, of course, as just to help us get some red. But of course, if we cast this, of course, and utilize the red mana for a dragon spell, that dragon will gain haste. And that's actually going to be a very important thing to help close out the game very quickly against opponents out there. We'll show you exactly what we're going to use to take advantage of this in a little bit. We're also going to utilize a single copy of Spelunking. I know we're not really a cave deck, but again, the enchantment here just helps us make sure that all of our lands come into play untapped, which is great for us to make sure we can just keep ramping without kind of slowing ourselves down too much. In the 5-drop slot here, we kind of have a little bit of a mix and match here. So 3 copies of Stormshriek Feral here. This is actually a pretty nice little common here. It's a dragon, it's a 3/3. It has flying and haste, and also has the fire breathing ability, which means that you can pay extra mana to give it a +1/+0 pump until end of turn. This can be a finisher for us, believe it or not, even though it is a common. And of course, if we do need to kind of draw into more action, we can use its Omen ability, Flush Out, to then just discard a card. And if we do, we could draw 2 cards, which is great for us to just make sure we keep churning through our deck, getting the lands we need to play everything and cast everything on time. And a single copy here of Bloomvine Regent here. It's a 5-mana 4/5, one of the rares in the deck. It's a dragon. It has flying, of course. Whenever another dragon or this creature enters, we could gain 3 life. So this is great for us to ensure that we can just keep, again, stabilizing with some life gain. And also its other ability is kind of like a Cultivate here. We could just dig up 2 basic forests. Unfortunately, it's only forests, but that still helps us, of course, ramp to what we need when we need it. And then in the 6-drop slot, this is again where the real fun begins, everybody. So we're going to, of course, be utilizing the one and only Stormscale Scion here. A 6-mana dragon. It's a 4/4. It has flying, but it says other dragons we control get +1/+1. It has Storm. So for those of you that may not be very old like I am, of course, Storm is an incredibly broken ability here. So Storm, of course, means that anytime a spell is cast, we get to copy the spell that we're casting here for every spell that was cast before it. So in other words, say like even if we cast maybe 1 spell, we get an extra copy of Stormscale Scion. If we maybe have our opponent cast some stuff on our turn, that actually counts towards the Storm Scale. So that actually means that this can get out of control very quickly if our opponent is not prepared for it. So hopefully we'll just cast this and maybe get a couple extra dragon copies out there to overwhelm our opponent and smash our way to victory. However, this is all going to be pretty expensive even with all the ramp we do. So we have one more secret weapon for the deck, and it's actually a pretty nice little uncommon here. Savage Ventmaw here. The 6-mana 4/4 dragon with flying that says, whenever this creature attacks, you get to add 6 mana in a combination of Gruul. So in other words, 3 red pips, 3 green pips. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So the key piece here is, ideally, if we could cheapen our whole game plan out, we maybe can get out a Carnelian Orb, and then from this, we can tap this, then use this to cast the Savage Ventmaw here. Then that means we get to get all of our mana back, and we should be able to then cast a couple of extra spells if we need to. If we have just enough mana, we can also get off a Stormscale Scion. It won't be as powerful, but at least even a copy or 2 of this with this uncommon here can get us at least a couple extra that hopefully should be just enough to then beat down our opponent. So that's the game plan for us. Now, again, as I'm going to emphasize one more time, this first version here is going to be budget, so this is affordable for anybody that wants to play this in standard, so we're going to keep this as cheap as possible for the mana base. 8 mountains, 6 forests, Bristling Backwoods, Restless Ridgeline. This will be a rare land that we have. If everything falls apart with our game plan here, we can then simply utilize this to, of course, just keep attacking with one of our creature lands just to hopefully close out the game if our dragons cannot do so. And then finally rounding it out with Rugged Highlands here. If you do want to play this in best of 3, here's what I would recommend for you, at least currently for the sideboard. But again, adjust depending on the meta. So for a little bit of extra spot removal, and we will have, trust me, a ton of mana in this deck. We can utilize here Burst Lightning here, does 2 damage, and also we can kick it for an extra 4 to do 4 damage, so great for just to finish off our opponent. Pyroclasm here is actually pretty nice as well because we can just burn out against small level creatures and tokens out there, 2 damage to each creature. We have big dragons, so usually this doesn't hurt us too much here. Soul Guide Lantern is going to be our Graveyard Hate. Heritage Reclamation here is going to be our Artifact and Enchantment Hate, and also be extra Graveyard Hate in a pinch. And then finally, we have actually a ton of mana if we do manage to go off, so we will utilize Tyvar Stand here, so we can also give one of our creatures protection, and also we can use the extra mana to just dump it into this to give one of our creatures a pump as they are protected when they swing. So otherwise, that's the whole game plan for you, everybody. Let's see if this is actually going to be able to pull off anything at all in the standard format. Do you think it's going to be good? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm super excited to see what these dragons are capable of. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and see how well this deck is capable of. Okay, hold on a second. Best of 1 ranked. Okay. All right, here we go, everybody. Hopefully this is going to be the sweetest budget dragon deck ever. Okay, so while we're loading up here, let me know your initial thoughts, everybody. So a whole day has now gone by since Dragonstorm has come out. So what are your thoughts so far on the set? Do you like it? Are you not so sure about it? Do you think it's going to make an impact as we go on through the meta? Let me know, and I would love to hear from all of you about it. But otherwise, all right, so we got our first one going here. Okay, so here we go. Right now we have a lot of Sunset Strike Masters, but no dragons. Ooh, that's awkward. That's okay. Hopefully we can draw into our dragons here, but we have plenty of ramp. Ramp literally for days here. Hopefully it should be enough. All right, Darkslave Shores. All right, Storm Chaser Talent. Okay. All right, we got a Land of War Elves, which is nice for the early game. Land of War Elves. Opponent's probably going to think we're actually an elf deck, but they're about to see that's actually not the truth here. Nurturing Pixie. All right, so it is going to be the bounce deck that we got to deal with here, but that's okay, everybody. We'll find a way to get around it. Storm Chaser's Talent again. Alright, they make their otter. They swing. This is going to be, of course, the premier deck we got to deal with in this set, but that's okay. We will find a way to get around it. But the good news is here, we should be able to do this here, no problem. Invasion of Tarkir. No dragons yet, but the creatures are weak enough where we should be able to just take them out. So, invasion down. No attacks yet. Come on, deck. Give me a dragon. That's all I need right now to just hopefully go off, and we should be able to just start smashing our way to our opponent here. But, of course, they're going to have a lot of removal, but we'll still find a way to get around it, everybody. Still got to maintain that positivity. Opponents? Opponent, what do you got? Thinking? This town ain't big enough? Okay. Alright, so here comes the bounce, everybody. We'll still find a way to deal with it, though. We'll find a way. For some reason, opponents taking their time here. Okay. Anytime now, opponents. Alright, there goes the prowess. All the pump and bounce. They swing. Ugh. Not good, but okay, it's fine. We'll make it work, everybody. Rugged Highlands. Let's get out a Sunset Strike Master. We may have to sacrifice a couple of our mana dorks here just to kind of stop our opponent, but let's see how they do. Right, back at our wastes. Opponent, redeploying Storm Chaser's talent once again. Alright, so, is it possible for us to get around this? We'll see right here. Nowhere to run. Okay. Alright. This might be going game one to them, so we might be losing this in just a moment here. Down to 9. Alright. Got the orb. We have a storm scale, which would be great if we could only just get it down, but we don't have the means, so we're going to have to kind of finagle our way here a little bit. Strike Master, Land War Elves. If nothing else, we might have to chump block a little bit, which is not favorable. Okay. Restless Reef, Storm Chaser's talent number 2. Oh joy. It's okay, everybody. It's okay. It's just game 1. Go for the throat. Oh, jeez. Alright. And that's game. Yeah. Even if I block here, we don't have the means in the main deck to actually stop our opponent. We could block here still, but we lose our mana dork, and we sputtered here at the end. So, alright. We didn't quite make it, everybody. I mean, even if I block here, we still lose. Alright. That's unfortunate, though. It's okay. It's just game 1, everybody. It's just game 1. No big deal. Oh, hey, Dan Splendid. Thanks again for joining us, my fire friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Hey, what did I miss? Oh, actually, that was just game 1. So we're just trying to see how well our dragon deck can do. Again, it's a little rough around the edges, but I did the best I could with only, honestly, literally a couple hours just to kind of play test it and kind of build it. But you just got here, so that's good. Thanks again for joining us. All right, so let's see. All right, so we got now plenty of, again, lands, which is good. Plenty of ramp, and we do have our dragons that will allow us to kind of dig through our deck. So let's see if we can get through this. Okay, Land War Elves again. As always, it should be hilarious here because our opponent probably thinks we're an elf deck, but we are not. Meticulous Archive. Okay, so we got the Restless Ridge, which is good. Mountain, and we will Sunset Strike Master. Swing here, down to 19. All right, opponents, bring it on.
It's time to do.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Opponent, what do you got? All right, Conduit Pylons. Dense Minute. Thinking of making Mono White Explorer deck with the new Elspeth. I already have an idea with her, so I'm pretty sure you're already knowing what you want to throw into there, but man, she is crazy. I've seen her go off just once in my testing of this deck, and it was just absolutely nutty. I have yet to actually crack enough copies to build a deck with her yet, but we're hopefully going to build up to that soon. Okay, in the meantime, we got to keep ramping here, because I want to make sure we can get out to our dragons quick. So, get 2 forests. 1 out. Alright. Temporary locks down our whole game plan, which is annoying, but that's okay. It's fine, everyone. We're going to have to just find a way around this, but that's okay. It's fine, everyone. We're going to have to just find a way around this. Let's see here. Flush out. We will discard the backwoods. Draw. Okay, so we got a Dragon Lord Servant, which is good. Okay, so let's see. we still get to victory here. Hopefully. Alright. Just got as far as dispersal. Okay. Interesting. A lot of opponents are playing tempo right now in this meta. Stock up. Okay. I actually got to get a couple of copies of this. This card is actually really good right here. Stock up. Seriously. This card is actually pretty good. Dig 5 cards deep for 3 mana and you get 2 out. That's actually really good on a budget. Okay. Opponents? Nothing. Okay. Alright. Well, opponents doesn't have anything just yet. So let's see. How do we do this here? Hold on. Okay. Savage Ventmaw. Our opponent is definitely going to bounce away that Ventmaw if I try to swing. But the good news is we will get plenty of mana out of it, at least once we get it down. Okay. Opponents? Anything? Anything at all? Still thinking. Okay. I mean, that's fine if you want to think. Got 18. Okay. What else we got? Question also for everybody out there that's also watching. So, is there any other cards out there you're thinking you're underperforming or overperforming, kind of based upon what you've seen so far? Let me know. Because there's definitely a couple of commons in here that are actually really, really nutty for this set. So I'm actually hyped to try them out once we get to that point. All right, so in the meantime... Okay, so I obviously know that as far as dispersal is going to wreck us in just a minute here, but we're going to try to get around it. So let's just see. How can we do that, though? We'll turn on Restless Ridgeline. So our opponent is going to have to now make a choice here. Does it bounce everything? As far as dispersal. Okay, it does not. Okay, so they will bounce away the Ventmaw. No surprise there. Okay, it's fine, everyone. It's fine. I get the Surveil 2. So they throw away an Omniscience. Interesting. Okay. Down to 12. And then from here... Not much else we can really do. But actually, I'll put down the Evasion Tarkir. So we'll reveal... Because we're going to try to close this out quick here. Reveal 2. Hit for 4. Down to 8. Okay. Well, we're closing in. Although our opponent is definitely playing a control deck, but we're going to try to see if we can find a way around this. Hopefully it should be enough. Alright, opponents. What else do you got? What else do you got? Come on. Here playing another stock up. Stocking up all the cards. Alright. They got a full hand right now. Not playing anything. Okay. Like it's annoying when they don't do that. Okay. So, let's see here. Play the orb. Okay. We can haste out our other dragon here. Unless if our opponent has something else in hand. Wait for it. Yep. The counterspell. Okay. Kind of sad, but okay. Down to 5. Actually, I forgot. I meant to say, okay, down to 4 on the evasion. That's what I meant to say. Words are hard, by the way. Abuelo's Awakening. Okay, so they got the Omniscience out, and now it's a... Okay. I see what they did there. I don't like where this is going to go. Okay, so now they're going to just go through and play their whole deck. I actually now don't know if we can actually win here because cheating out the Omniscience for that much is disgusting. I totally forgot this is a thing. I actually haven't seen this like in person yet. So if you were kind of confused about what they did here, what they did was they played Abuelo's Awakening. They brought back the Omniscience with it. And then now it's a Flying Spirit, but it's also allowing everything to be cast for free. So I don't know if we can really get around this. So we're just going to concede here. Just to save time. I don't want to deal with this. Dang. Sadness. Alright, well, not doing too well, everybody, but that's okay. Again, it is a budget deck, so we're just going to work with what we got. But we will upgrade to a better version of the deck later on. Let's just keep on going for a little bit longer. Hopefully, we can at least get a couple wins with this. I mean, I got a couple wins in testing. That should be enough, right? That can't be that bad. I mean, honestly, I think our worst outing was the exhaust stream. We tried our best with that one, but man, that was a rough one. Most likely it was just because I didn't really build the deck very well, but hopefully this time around will be a lot better. All right, Land War Elves. All right, opponents, I'm ready for ya.
It's time to do.
Yeah. Okay, opponent, what are you playing? All right, Swamp, removal. All right. It's okay. No big deal, everybody. We will still keep making our stuff work here. Sunset Strike Master. All right. We have plenty of mana dorks, so that's not the problem. We just want to make sure we can keep ramping our stuff. Feed the Swarm. All right. Opponent's going to have removal for days here. That's annoying, but that's okay. Up the Beanstalk. Come on. Give me a land. Nice. Okay, we got a land, which is good. Land War Elves again. Some way, somehow, we're going to try to keep building our way. We want to see if we can get that Scion to go off at least once today. Hired Claw. Oh, are they lizards? Okay, I guess we'll see in a bit. Spelunking. Okay, put a land out. Tapped. We gain some life off of that. We'll play Dragon Lord Servant. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure our opponent has figured out what we're trying to do here. Okay. Hired Claw pings. I guess we'll block. Even if they do trigger the ability, they can't really do much else with it. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. We don't have enough just yet to go off. Sunset Strike Master. And we will swing here. Down to 16. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Can we go off with this? Stadium Headliner. Okay, that's a new one also from the set. Okay, opponent pings us. We will not block because they can just pump up their Higher Claw. And it looks like they will. No surprise. Down to 16. Ooh, Invasion to Tarkir. Okay, this is good. Okay, so let's get the invasion down. We will... Let's see. Actually, we will not reveal. So here's how we do this. Get rid of the Headliner. That's off the field. We can now swing at the invasion. There we go. We flip that. Now we get one dragon out, which is great. And we pass here. So Defiant Thundermaw is actually pretty nice as a finisher. It doesn't look like it does that much damage, which is actually pretty powerful for what it is. Of course, I wish we were able to flip it once and then get a Storm Scale out, but that's okay. We'll make it work, everybody. Oh. Our opponent already gave up? Already? Aw, opponent, I was ready to go off there, but that's okay. We'll still get the win. Yeah. Alright. Not the flashiest one, but you kind of saw we were about to kind of do our thing there, so I'll take that. A victory's a victory. But here's hoping we'll actually get a real one today. Okay, get a free thing. Alright, and then we'll continue on with our next one. Alright. So, how are we feeling right now with this deck? I know, again, it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's a little rough, but so far it does its thing, sort of. Dense Planet. Elspeth feels so far solid, even for Explorer. Okay, well that's very encouraging to know, because I'm still debating how I want to build her. I don't know if we want to go with the gimmick side of a Brawl deck, or maybe we'll try an Explorer version. Either way, I'm really excited to try to build around here, and I'm sure you are just as excited as I am. Okay, so let's see here. All right. No actual ramp in hand, but we have plenty of dragons here, so we can use this as solid removal, so we'll just keep what we have. In theory, we should be able to then just dig to what we need in a bit. Let's ping our opponent for 1. They're down to 19. Okay, opponent, what else you got? If we can get at least 1 or 2 ramp pieces, that should be enough for us. Mountain. We will play... let's see here. Actually, I think we should... We'll discard here and draw 2. Discard 1 Savage Ventmaw. Draw 2. Okay. Full hand still. Herd Migration. Okay. This opponent's going to discard that. So thankfully we have plenty of invasion still, so our opponent starts playing creatures, and they... Okay. Ugh. Overlord. Gotta worry about that now, but we will get around it. No big deal. We will still find a way. Mana Ward Elves. Alright, and I guess at this point we might as well just start revealing the plan here. So let's actually start showing off our dragons. We're going to start just burning out our opponent here. Doing some massive damage. Opponents. Overlord for full price. Wow, okay. I mean, that's a choice. Okay, so how do we get around this? Okay, so I think we can do this. Okay. Okay, second invasion. Show off the same 2 cards. let's hit them here hard. All right. Third invasion. No reveal this time. Take out. All right. Overlord down. That was very important for us to get out of the way. So thankfully, we could do this. That's a minute. For building a token deck, what do I go for when it comes to making tokens? Caretaker's Talent is a must, right? Oh, yeah. So Caretaker's Talent is pretty much a must. Although, if you want something in the 2-drop slot, I've seen some people actually utilize, what is it? Skrelv's Hive. You can try that for free tokens every single turn. I mean, I played against somebody that did that last night. It actually was very effective. Okay. Okay, so we got the orb, which is nice. So we just got to survive, like, a turn here, and I think we might be able to go off. No attacks yet. So my idea right here is, okay, so we can cast the Savage Ventmaw. We should swing with it, get the mana back, and then we can at least get a couple copies of Storm Scale Scion. At least, hopefully, this should work out the way I plan. At least I envision it this way. Okay, opponent, however, does have... I already have the key cards in hand, which is so kind of defeating. But okay, we'll try. Okay, another mountain. So, in theory here, this is how the deck should work. So, tap that. Savage Ventmaw coming in. If our opponent has an answer, no, they do. Alright. Well, our plan now fizzles, so we can't beat them here. We'll just cancel now. Dang. So, we were close there. If our opponent didn't have that setup, I kind of thought in my head here, okay, so the idea was, yeah, swing with the Savage Ventmaw. We get all of our mana back. Stormscale Scion, after they flip an invasion, would be cast for free, and we would have gotten basically 2 extra copies of the Scion, but they have a pile. A pile that we just couldn't deal with, so that's a shame. It's okay, though. It's okay. Not a big deal. Okay. No big deal. We'll try again. That's minute for a budget rule in Arena. Is 14 rares a good budget? I mean, that's perfectly fine. For me, I self-impose a rule where if we're doing anything in Standard, Explorer, and I guess even... Well, I guess I mostly would say like Standard and Explorer is mostly where I kind of hold myself to my personal self. 12 rares or less would be considered budget. So 14 is perfectly fine. I mean, that's how, if you want to do it that way, no big deal. That's totally how you want to budget yourself. 14 to 16 is where I kind of push it, maybe towards, maybe it's not so much budget, unless if I'm playing in maybe like Historic or Timeless, since those formats are a lot more stronger. So it kind of, again, reiterates. So for anybody that's wondering out there, if you've seen my content, I usually, again, budget myself 12 rares or less if it's a Standard or Explorer deck for me personally. And if I'm personally playing anything that is Historic or Timeless, it'll be around 16 or less, depending. But I try to hover at least no more than maybe, say, 14 rares. At least that's for me personally, because I think that's a fair amount of rares based upon your overall deck in Arena. It's completely different, though, I will say, if I do actually a budget deck for Brawl. That one I'm more focused on how much I'm spending versus anything else. But it kind of, again, it really, your mileage may vary, everybody. Oh, okay. Awkward there. Okay. Let's try again. No big deal. Alright. And I do want to emphasize again, this stream might be a little bit smaller than the previous ones just because time today for me is a little on the tight side. So I do apologize, everyone, but we will make the most of it with what we got. But I still appreciate everybody being here today. Don't worry, of course. I will tell you a little bit later on today what is the schedule, and if you don't catch that, no big deal. I will, of course, post across all socials what we are scheduling for the remainder of content for the week and beyond. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? We've got... All right. Plenty of ramp here. This is good. The good news about this deck is we usually have no shortage of ramp options, so that's actually nice even on a budget. But I will say, I am, of course, going to try dragons again in the future. Maybe in a different format to see how well these new cards do to help us out. Okay, so first off, let's play Sunset Strike Master. All right, opponents. What do you got? Bring it on.
It's time to duel.
All right. Dense one again. Okay, so for this token deck, it's pretty ambiguous. It can be fast or slow. Okay, so it's kind of like a mid-range kind of deck where you can kind of flex yourself to be aggro, or you can flex yourself to be a little bit more grindy. I mean, either way, that's pretty good. Okay, let's keep ramping. Get our dragons going. Opponents? Opponent's letting us think here for a second here. Okay, so we will get our 2 forests out. This is also the reason why I only have 1 copy of the Bloom Vine, because our deck is still skewed more towards red, but at least having at least 1 copy to kind of do some pseudo ramping until we actually need to cast a dragon is pretty nice. That does lead me again to a question I want to ask everybody. What are your thoughts currently on the cards that have the Omen ability? So, cards that are kind of like an adventure, but not quite an adventure. Wolf in the Woods from YouTube. Thanks again for joining us today, my fire friend. Happy to see you on the chat. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Hey man, glad to see Gruul. I built a Gruul Dragon deck that has been using since late fall. I've been too busy to play it this month, but I'm stoked to see new cards in play. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And hopefully, again, it works out for you. That if you actually want to build a Gruul Dragon deck, hopefully today might be an inspiration for you for something. Opponent played Liliana and got rid of our ramp, but that's okay. No big deal. Dragon Lord Servant coming in. Okay, so we have plenty of dragons here. We just need to get 1 or 2 key cards to start swinging away, and we should be able to then just beat down our opponents. But we'll see. Can we get there? Dense Planets. I'm more of like an Elspeth. It's more like Elspeth herself is like a solid card all on her own, so that's why I'm so torn on what to approach with speed. Also, Omens seem like a weird variant of Adventures. Yeah, I like what the Adventures do, but Omens are a little, I guess I would say, clunky. Because there's moments where I don't want the card to go back to the deck because I'm trying to thin out my deck. You know, when you cast cards, you want to thin out to hopefully get a better guarantee of what you are drawing into. So Omens are, I guess you would say they're pretty good if you're anti-mill. But that's mostly it. I mean, there's still a little, I'm not sure. Still debating, but I'm pretty sure the consensus is Adventures are just a better card option. Because, again, Adventures lets you find what you're looking for, but then once you cast the adventure, it's off to the side. So it's immune to discard and all the other stuff. I mean, that's at least how I see it. Alright, Carnelian Orbit Dragonkind. Okay, so at this point, I'm sure our opponent now definitely knows what we're doing. We will hit Liliana here so they cannot make us lose our Dragon Lord Servant. But even if they do, it's not the worst, because we still have the Orb here. Okay, down to 1.
I really don't have time for you.
Alright. What else we got, opponents? Either way, if they get rid of our servant here, it's fine. Because we have plenty of dragons now in play that we can start casting really quickly. We just need at least 1 big payoff. That's what we need. Opponents? Nothing? Okay. Ooh, okay. So here's how we do this. We will Savage Ventmaw. Our opponent most likely will have removal, but at least I want to see if we can try to get off this once. It should work in theory. Hopefully. Opponents? Do you let me do this? Please? Please? Come on, let me have this. No. Of course they won't. They have to go to the throat every time. Okay, so... Alright, well, we'll try later on. Opponent has 3 cards in hand still, though. I'm thinking of a spicy brew. Boros tokens, but new Elspeth and Chandra that create tokens. That sounds kind of spicy. They're definitely solid top ends to what we're trying to do. Okay. So since our opponent here is going to try to just keep throwing away our dragons, here's how we're going to do this instead. We're going to throw away... I don't want to throw away the Savage Ventmaw, but Storm Shriek at least can help us draw a new set of cards. Okay. I chose my discard. I'm still trying to figure out what they want to discard. Anytime now, opponents. I mean, you have 4 cards in hand. It can't take that long to figure out what you want. Most likely you're just going to throw away some kind of land, I would assume. Oh, the game is lagging? Oh. I do apologize for that, everybody. Yep. We're still lagging here. Hopefully it's not going to crash. Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay, hold on, everybody. We'll see if we can try to get back on this. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait. Are we crashing? Oh, jeez. All right. Hold on, everybody. Oh. What the heck is going on? Come on. Anytime, Arena. Okay. So if we may have to for a second here, I might just... Okay. Okay, retry. Okay. Game right now is kind of pooping out on us. So here's what I'm going to have to do. Okay. Give me a second here, everybody. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay. So give me a second here. Let me pop back out. And we're going to try to reset Arena. Don't worry. I'm still here, of course. But let me see if I can kind of work on something here real quick. So... Hold on. Hold on. I think we're coming back now. Okay. Arena is thinking. It's taking a sweet time right here. Okay. It's downloading another update. Okay. Well, while Arena tries to figure itself out in life, kind of like how I am at times, if you do like the content, and if you don't mind me kind of acting like a fool on stream, you know what to do. Be sure to give a like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already done so across any one of my socials. So that way you don't miss on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs, and so much more. Oh, wait. Yeah, Arena is kind of pooping out. But it happens. Happens to the best of us, of course. So, had a major lag there. And then, okay. Oh, great. We missed a turn 2. That's not fun. Okay. So, we basically kind of gave our opponent there a free turn, which I did not like, but okay. I guess we'll try. See if we can still fix this. I don't know how, but we'll try. Yeah, the game is drunk. Draw 2 cards. Okay. Play up the beanstalk so we can at least draw another card. Come on, Arena. I believe in you. Okay. Not much else we could really do here at this point. I mean, the good news is we still have all the ramp in the world. We just need to get around Liliana here. Still annoyed we gave them a free turn. Okay, opponents. Okay, swinging away. Down to 2.
Now you've got my attention.
Okay. Well, at least we didn't crash. I mean, that's good, right? Oh, Wolf in the Woods. Thanks again for subscribing, my fiery friend. Thanks for joining us, being now part of our group of growing fiery friends, and hopefully, again, you'll have fun watching me look foolish on stream. Okay. Ticking down. Let's see. I guess we'll throw away the forest. Okay. Opponent is throwing away their wraths, which I guess is okay. Come on, deck. Give me... Okay. I think at this point... Let me see. We'll try again with the Omen. We're going to discard our Land of War Elves, and we'll see if we can draw into an actual good dragon. Oh. Not quite, but okay. Restless Ridgeline. I guess it's better than nothing. Yeah, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, but let's see. Despite the lag we just went through right now, and despite the goofy technical issues, can we still find a way around this? I have no idea. I'm going to try. Against my better judgment, of course. So we're throwing away a land. I mean, we have plenty of ramp now, so that's not the first problem. The thing we need to do is we just need a piece here. Anything. Anything should be able to just beat down our opponent. Come on, deck. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just do this now. On a bigger screen, though, my PS5. Oh, I didn't know you had a PS5. How do you like it, by the way? Actually, thought about at one point PS5, but I honestly don't have the time to actually play other games, which is kind of awkward for me as a content creator. Okay, we gained some life back, which is nice. But can we swing? Will our opponent let us swing? Most likely not. Watch. Ooh. Do they? What's these? Flanker? Alright. Okay. Gain some life back. I mean, that's fine if they want to do that. That doesn't really hurt us, though, so we can get rid of Liliana. I'm thinking they're just trying to set up their next draw. Which they do. Okay, so the good news is Liliana's down, which is nice.
I knew this was a waste of time.
Oh. Don't get me to begin with increase in tariffs. Yeah. Sorry about that. I mean, obviously I'm not the one doing it myself, but I get what you're saying. Trust me. I was super excited a week ago to look at possibly getting a Nintendo Switch 2, and then things happened. But I don't think I need to tell you about how that goes. Obviously, on this stream, I don't like to talk too much about, like, the real world stuff like that, but I get that that's gonna affect everybody in some way, shape, or form. Hopefully it won't hurt you as much as it will hurt us on this side here. Okay, meanwhile, our opponent just blew up the whole board. They got deadly cover-up. What are they going to try to get rid of? 2025 ain't looking too great, honestly. Well, we'll try to maintain as much positivity as possible. At least that's how I see it when I'm here with all of you. Okay, so they exiled the Bloom Vial Regent. Did they? I mean, that's fine with me. It doesn't really hurt us all that much, but okay. So, with our opponent now pretty much out of action here, this is also the reason why we want Plan B to work. Because now, with the Restless Ridgeline, I guess we just swing with our creature land. Alright, it's all up to the creature land. We came here for dragons, and we're using a dinosaur land to kind of try to get our way to victory. And it actually might just work. So, Restless Ridgeline again. But this time, we actually now have an elf to swing at. Okay, and where else? Taps down to 12. Okay. Again, I wasn't expecting to make it work this way, but hey, a win's a win, so I'll take it. Virtual Presence, okay. So, now the clock is ticking. Ugh. That Virtual Presence is going to be what makes or breaks us here. Okay, Restless Ridgeline again. We swing. We untap. Ooh, we actually should have put down the Invasion Tarkir first. Okay, that's okay. We'll see. So close, though. Down to 4. And where else? Again. Hand is empty now. What do they bring back? Yeah, I think I may have fumbled this a little bit there, because I realized if I put down the invasion first, ping them, I could have swung and gotten another dragon out of the deal, but it's okay. It's okay, everybody. That's fine. At least I unpacked 20 packs in Arena. That's good, though. See? Saving up now meant that you were able to now get a ton of cards that hopefully should help you build to your next deck utilizing Dragonstorm. Okay, nothing yet from our opponent there. Okay, so let's see. All right. Restless Ridgeline. Turning on. They have 2 cards in hand. I want to... Let's see. Do they have an answer right now? They probably have an answer. All we just need to do is just get a triumph. Okay, well, they throw away their last card. We will tap here. Okay. We swing. Okay. 50% of the set already? Nice. Okay, and then from here, invasion. We just came up 1 point short overall for everything. So down to 1. If we can get at least 1 invasion or at least 1 swing on our opponent, we could close this out right here and now. Oh, we're so close, though. Our opponent's Virtual Persistence is going to be beyond annoying to deal with. Because now they can gain some life back. Ugh, this is such a hard thing to deal with. So close. Like, anything right now that I can swing with would help us just close out this game. Come on, deck. Can I get lucky and get another copy of Invasion Tarkir? Or at least anything else that can help us just beat down our opponents. Okay, opponent is still taking their time to figure out what they want to get. Alright, they're still thinking it out. Okay, after this, I think we'll try to jump to 1 best-of-3 match if I can squeeze it in. And afterwards, we'll then just do the upgraded version of the deck. Again, I'm still a little shaky on the deck. Because I haven't had enough time to actually test test it out that much, but I'm going to try. So if it ends up looking terrible, you'll see why in a bit. Okay, Stormgale Scion. Okay. Well, I mean, I think we got him here. Come on, deck. Draw a card. Give me something. Something. Okay. I'll take it. Okay, and then from here, can we get the win here? Please don't tell me I have a rule. Did we get him? Did we get him? Oh, come on. Ooh, that's not it. Yes, we got him. With the Stormkill Scion? It wasn't a flashy win, but victory is still victory, so I'll take it. We didn't get a chance to storm off, but technically we did win with the card, so yay. I will take that win. Okay, so with that, let's play this in best of 3 for a little bit. At least maybe one match, and then we'll see if we can jump to a best of... Or actually, we'll play the upgraded version. Alright, so get our gold. So this time around, let's give it a fair shot in best of 3. Maybe it might be better there. Okay, so Dragonstorm here. And again, right after this, we will then jump to the upgraded version of the deck in just a little bit. Dense Planet. Of all omens, the one I think is most played is the one that creates 2/2 soldier tokens. Yeah, I forgot the name of that card right now, but I know which one you're talking about. That one actually is a really solid one because you can just keep making more stuff, and you can just keep dumping into your deck the same card to keep making more and more tokens. It's actually a really sweet card, by the way. Okay, so with this hand here, it's going to be very slow, but it almost guarantees we can get to our key cards here. Hopefully we can get at least 1 or 2 pieces of ramp, and this should be no problem for us to hold on to. All right. Opponent is thinking. So while they're thinking also, are there any other cards that have kind of stood out to you from this set? Let me know, everybody. Is there something that made you go, oh, wow, I didn't realize that actually is really sweet with what it's doing? Let me know. Okay, Mountain. So we got 1 Dragon Lord Servant. So the good news is we actually can now make our cards cheaper, just a little bit. We can get the orb that actually will put us in a really good spot. A lot of opponents today are going to be playing a lot of Dimir. Alright. Well, looks like our opponents might be doing some poison shenanigans, so joy. But that's okay. We'll still make it work, everybody. You still gotta believe. Alright, opponents. I'm ready for you, though. Ready for that poison.
It's time to do.
Rod Curse Rashka. Okay. That's a new one also that we have to be aware of. So the decay thing is a little scary, but we will find a way to get around it. Lucas. Hi, everyone. Hello, my fiery friend. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully, again, you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. From YouTube also. Yay, we're getting a lot more YouTube friends. That's actually pretty nice for us to see. Okay, in the meantime, though... Okay, so our opponent here, because this is actually another card I actually want to build around here. Rot Curse Rashka here is a demon here. This is actually a really powerful card, and I think this actually would really put the mono black demon deck over the top. It's actually hilarious, by the way, how this card works. I mean, come on, a 2-mana 5/5? Yes, it has Decayed, but man, those are some nutty stats. The game is really getting a little power crept, more so than ever now. Okay, opponents? Nowhere to run. Okay. Well, there goes our ramp. It's okay, though. We still have plenty of lands to get out our stuff. Ooh. There we go. That's what we wanted, everybody. We want the orb. Beautiful. Okay. So in order for us to make this work, we will put down our tap land now. Ping. If our opponent can tap out here, I think we should be able to at least get off 1 Stormscale Scion Storm effect. We'll see. Hopefully. Lucas. I was wondering, will we see a non-token creatures with Decayed? Maybe. That's a good question. I mean, there's only one way to find out, but we'll see. Okay, so our opponent here, Rot Curse Rashka. Okay. Okay, they ninjutsu it out, so this is most likely what we were expecting with this card was going to do. So, with the Decayed on the stack, you can then bounce in Kaido here for a very powerful option. And then you can bring back Rashka here, so it's a little dirty tactic, but hey, it does work, so, I mean, kudos to our opponent for that. But, you're about to see right now, we have our own dirty game plan here. Alright, so, let's make the red. Savage Vent Maw. We will then swing. What do we swing at, though? Should we just go straight to face? Or do we worry about Kaido? I mean, either way, we still get our mana back. So this is what you wanted. This is actually great. So we get all of our mana. Take out Kaido. Or at least hit him down to 1. Storm Scale. Not the flashiest one, but it does work. Okay, 2 dragons. Okay. If our opponent has anything else to deal with here, now's their turn to actually start blowing stuff up. Otherwise, we're going to just steamroll them here in just a second. Dense Planet, got it. It's the Signaling Roar Omen side of Rilling Dawnbreaker. Okay, that's cool. I have to look at that because, again, there's still cards I still need to dig around with this set that I think are pretty sweet, but I just need a little bit more time to kind of look at everything else. In the meantime here, okay, opponent is thinking hard here. I mean, technically we we have a lot of power on board here. I just wish we can find a better way to storm off with the Scion, but maybe we'll try to find a way to kind of like play with this again later on in the future. This kind of makes you wish there was a fog in standard. Wait, I think there. Wait, no. Oh no, never mind. Fog was brought into Arena, but it's in it's Explorer. Okay, we'll take the damage. Down to 10. Opponents. That's fun. Also, Rashka's Bargain is a good card selection value in a way like a Memory Deluge without flashback. I do agree with you. It's actually very, very good. All things considered, by the way. So, we will... Alright, we're going to fire up our Restless Ridgeline. We came here for a reason. Sunset Strike Master. At least for the backswing. And the good news, of course, is Rashka here cannot block. So our opponent has to hit something with it right now. Maybe? Anything? Opponents? I think we might have lethal if they don't have an answer. They're thinking. They're thinking. They have 3 cards in hand. We are completely empty. Come on, opponents. Oh, let me have this. Come on. Oh, this would be so good if we could have it. Ooh. All right. Big swing. If your opponent has anything, now's their time to do it. Anything. I wish we could use this mana for something else, though. That's the only awkward part about this card. I like this dragon, but if you don't have anything to dump the extra mana into, it kind of gets a little awkward. It's okay. We untap. Down to 2. All right. Oh, man, that was a beautiful hit. So if we have to right now, we could block anything here and then just kind of go from there. Okay, so they turn on the land. All their ninjas get a pump.
Just try to keep up.
Okay. Ew. A little scary, but we technically do have a Vent Maw to block. Oh, opponent did have removal. That's annoying. Wait. Oh. So, I guess we don't have a choice here. I guess we will block creature land. Down to 2. We're down to 2. But unfortunately, we just couldn't get there. So close, though, everybody. So close. That's okay. This is going to be game 2 anyway, so we're going to play best of 3. Let's see here. What do we want? I guess the Heritage Reclamation will take out the room cards, so that's not a problem. Let's see, Tyvar Stand. Should we get that instead? I don't think we need the Spelunking. And then, Invasion of Tarkir might be helpful just to take out Kaido. Animal Elves. Okay, so this is now where it gets a little tricky. Yeah, Dimir Demons. It's powerful. Let's be real. It is. But right now, let's see. Can we get around this? Is there a way around this? Let's see. Maybe we trim 1 Scion. And then... The Tyvar Stand gives us a lot of protection, which could be nice. Maybe we just get rid of the Elves? And then just put in Tyvar Stand instead? I think that might help us out. Let's try that. Okay, game 2. Win or lose, either way, after this, we will jump to the non-budget deck. So don't worry. It is coming. It is coming. Although, actually, I'm not going to lie, it's a little less untested than our current deck right now. Okay, so let's mulligan, because we didn't get what we want here. Okay, I think this is fine. We can make this work. We'll put back the bristling... Actually, hold on. Put back the mountain. Spelunking in my dragon deck? Yes, it's more likely than you think. I mean, getting off a couple of... just the untapped lands. It's mostly just for fixing. Just a single copy, though. Nothing super crazy. Dragonborn Servant. But only just a single copy. I was originally going to build a deck with caves, and I guess that was kind of like a remnant of the leftover part of that deck. So it's kind of like why we only have one copy of this deck overall. Because I was originally going to have some more options regarding that, but it didn't exactly work out. But I mean, again, this is a budget deck, so we're still trying to kind of figure things out here, personally. Let's see here. With the forest, draw 2 cards. Okay, we got 2 more lands anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. All right, opponents, bring it on.
It's time to duel!
Duress. Okay, well, that goes away our Tyvar stand, unfortunately. That's okay. So our opponent now knows we have nothing else in hand, no action. So they bring down the Roshka. Another Tyvar stand. Taking our opponent for 1. At 18. Okay, so here comes the ninja. Kaido's probably going to swing on in. Or at the very least, they have their room card. Oh, Archfiend of Dross. Ew, they got a lot of power on hand there. I don't know if we're going to make it in time, though, but we'll try. Down to 17. So that's a lot of power swinging. They can pretty much take us out in 2 turns, even if the Rock Curse Roshka does not get recasted. Unholy Annex. Oh, yeah. Okay. Down to 9. We're not looking too good here, buddy. Do they have another one? Maybe? Momentum Breaker. Okay. I mean, that doesn't really do much to us except make us discard, so I guess throw away the Tyvar stand. We don't really need it now. Okay. So, Mountain. Storm Scale for no value. Okay. They draw. We can only chump block at this point, which is unfortunate. Oh, never mind. Alright. Fine, opponents. But again, that was our budget deck, everybody. I mean, it kind of did stuff, but it still kind of fizzled a little bit here. So, unfortunately, it didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. But that's okay, everybody. Let's go ahead. Let's talk briefly about the upgraded version. So, again, this is version 1. I haven't had a chance to really take the time to actually build a stronger deck, or at least something a little bit more refined. So, I'm working with what I got based upon what I cracked open from the set. So, FYI, prefacing everything here. But we're still going to try to make it work. So we've now going to splash into blue to kind of give us a bit of a teamer effect to it. But don't worry, a teamer proper deck will be coming in the future. So this version of the deck, we're going to be bringing in, now that we're going into blue, we have Dispelling Exile here. So this is going to be one of our counter spells for the deck. We'll keep most of the other main cards in the 2-drop. You'll notice we got rid of the elves. And then we're going to I probably could just kind of get rid of actually the Spelunking. I guess that doesn't really help us out too much here. I think this is mostly just filler because I don't have another copy of Sarkhan, and I'm kind of a little tight on Mythics. So that's kind of why I have only picked out just 2 Sarkhan instead of just the 1. We'll add in 2 copies of Terror of the Peaks, so that'll help us out just ping out our opponents. Keep, of course, the Storm Scales, Savage Ment Vase, and we'll throw in a single copy of Draco Genesis. I have no idea if we're going to be able to get this to go off, but I'm going to try. It's a little memey right now because the deck has not been refined, but I really wanted to just throw this card in there, just why not? So, in terms of also the other upgrades, we're going to bring in better land, so Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon here to fix our mana there. Caverner's Souls makes our dragons uncounterable when we cast them with it. We'll throw in the Verge lands, Commercial District, Thundering Falls, other Verge land, and then go down to a single forest, a single island, and I think we'll go with 6 mountains because of how much red we actually do have in the deck still. I actually might want to refine this maybe a little bit more. Let me see actually what we have. Okay, so it is pretty high still. Hold on. We can still tweak with the numbers a little bit here and there, so it's not the worst. And then 5, 4. Maybe that might be a little bit better for us in case we go to the sideboard here. Speaking of the sideboard here, so here's the upgrades to the side here. So we have Soul Guide Lantern here still doing its thing. Heritage Reclamation still doing its thing. We're going to add in 2 copies of Runescale Stormbrood, now that we actually have blue options for us. So this gives us a little bit more counterspell shenanigans, but realistically, this is going to be, again, for another dragon that we can utilize here to get some pump going and some power. Whirlwing Stormbrood here, same thing. We can put some counters on our dragons here, but also its flash ability allows us to then cast sorcery and dragon spells as though they have flash. So we'll bring this in when we need to on certain effects. We'll also bring in a little bit more spot removal here with Dragon Claw Strike. Now that we have the right mana for it, we can actually cast this stuff for a little bit cheaper. Pump us up our creature and then fights whatever we want to, so good spot removal for us. We have a Better Wrath and the Elder Dragon War here. This can allow us to then just ping out our opponents similar to Pyroclasm, but also it has built into it some card draw and also gives us a nice dragon token at the very end of it. We'll throw in a single copy of Urene, the Song Unending here. I actually really like what this card does. Protection from white and black is actually kind of relevant right now in the format, so that's nice for us overall. But also we want it because this can be a really nice game ender just to burn out things against our opponent's creatures and planeswalkers once we get to the end of the game. And then still keep the Tyvar stand here just as a little bit more protection just to round out the package. So can this version of the deck get stuff done? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty good about it, so let's give it a try. We'll go back to best of 1 ranked and some upgraded Teamer Dragons to see how well it does. All right. Death Planet. Okay, maybe a bit of a hot take. Planeswalker should be played as your commander. There, I said it. I mean, I'll be honest. There's been a debate about that back and forth for the longest time. I know some people keep saying that that should now be a rule change for commander, and I'm gonna be honest. I kind of agree. At this point, you might as well just make commanders available as actual. You should have planeswalkers should now be allowed to be utilized as commanders. I mean, we do it in Brawl, so I don't know what's holding us back at this point. And planeswalkers are not that strong anyway in Commander. Some are very good, but most of them are not designed for commanders. So I think it's a safe option, in my opinion at least. All right, we'll play our Verge land. We just need 1 mountain, and we can turn on the green side. But hopefully, we should be able to get there. Okay, opponent's playing up the Beanstalk too. All right, Strike Master. So it looks like we're going to just be ramping, at least on the red side, for now at least. If they're playing green, though, at least, that does buy us some time. Because Teamer Dragons is my favorite variation of dragons. Nice! We actually built, years ago, a dragon deck in Arena that was based around the Baldur's Gate set. I actually did like that deck, so I think we might revisit that build again in a future stream, or at the very least, maybe a future deck tech. I'm actually kind of excited to see now what we can definitely do. We have a lot more sweet dragon support, by the way. Okay, in the meantime here, let us play our orb. We're just trying to get a ramp on. So we have plenty of storm scales here. Just need to get to our other colors. That's realistically all we need to do at this point. Any one of our lands should be able to just help us out here. Okay, so that means at least now we can turn on green, so that's good. We can then play up the Beanstalk. Draw a card. Okay, we got the Drago Genesis, which is nice. But is that going to be enough? Down to 17. So let's see. We got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 2 more lands to get to Draco Genesis. If we can get that, the party is really going to get started. Our opponent is a very interesting build. Oh, I forgot this was actually a Dragon 2. Maybe we could have gotten that dragon instead. Okay, Savage Ventmaw. Okay, so we can at least do this right here. So, Savage Ventmaw. Draw a card. Come on, give me a land. Not a land, but that's okay. Okay, so with that, we swing. We get our mana back, which is great. That's what we wanted. Opponents, even if they just blow up. Okay, they made a token. That's okay. We can then Storm Skill Scion. Draw a card. Okay, another copy. Another copy. Nice. All right. That's a lot of power, opponents. They have a turn right now to beat us. 1 turn. Can they do it, though? Do they have a Wrath? No Wrath means we win. Death Planet, with the current day of the whole power creep, I think it's way overdue for us. Let us play Planeswalkers as commanders. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. At this point, we might as well just get that. Okay, opponent gain some life. Okay. So, I think at this point, I mean, we might as well just play the other dragon. We won't get the storm effect, but that's fine. We don't really care at this point. Okay, another Thornspire Bird. We didn't get any of our blue mana, but that's okay. We still got a lot of dragons here. Opponent, you have a way of stopping? No, you don't. I love this deck when it goes off. There we go, everybody. Dragons. Not the flashiest to win again, but hey, we were able to overwhelm our opponent with all of our dragons. Oh, man. Stormscale Scion. What a cool card. I love that card. Victory there, everybody. I will take it. All right, getting our dailies done. As always, kids, make sure to always get at least 4 wins daily to get at least 1,000 gold. To then get you at least 1 pack a day. Technically 1 pack a day. But if you do play more than that, hey, more bonuses on top of that. But actually, I will ask the rest of you, since Den Splenda did bring it up, everybody. Everyone else out there that's watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay, what are your thoughts on the fact of Planeswalkers as commanders? Do you approve of that? Do you disapprove of that? Do you think it's even worth talking about? Let me know, everybody. I kind of do want to know everyone else's opinions on that. Oh, yeah. Fog would have saved him if he had some kind of fog effect, but he didn't have it, so... Oh, well. I mean, hey, it happens sometimes. Trust me, there have been many moments where I've been saved by a fog, and sometimes where I never get it. But okay. Any case, okay, we're playing our Vergelands again. Come on, deck. Give me our blue mana. We need that right now to then do our thing. Okay, Mountain. Monster Swiftspear. Ooh, okay. Mono red aggro. So let's see if we're fast enough to beat mono red aggro. Invasion of Tarkir. We won't show off our dragons just yet because it's kind of pointless. But we can take out their Swiftspear before it gets too big. Okay, if we can get one more land, then we should be able to go off here. Okay, come on, opponents. Bring it on.
It's time to do.
Because Planeswalkers could be commanders in some variants of Commander, in my opinion. Okay, that's fair. Okay. Can't cast anything. So this is kind of one of the awkward parts about the Vergelands. I like the Vergelands, but you can see right here, this is where they kind of fumble for us. So, wow, this is so awkward right now. Can't cast anything. Oh, dear. And against mono red, going down a turn only means that they can increase their chances of victory here. So, all right, did we give them a free win? That's my question right now. Man, just any land would have just helped us turn on things. Okay. Something to keep in mind, I guess, when it comes to the Vergelands. I'm sure there would be better if it was more of a dual-color deck, but a 3-color is a little clunky, as you can see right here. Manifold Mouse. No surprise, they have the mouse. Okay. Iron Claw. Okay. Yep. Pure aggro. Mono red aggro. I mean, I do like mono red aggro, but this is, of course, the deck to beat in the format. Another... Okay. Okay. That's fine. We at least can cast something, sort of. Okay. Opponents, it's doing the thing. Sneaky Toilet from also YouTube. Thanks again for joining us on the chat today, my fire friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Sneaky Toilet saying, yo, man, love your vids. Your minimal rare decks are amazing. Oh, well, thanks. I know sometimes they're not the most glamorous. And then you can see right here, sometimes going budget sometimes can mess with us a little bit here. Dang, we didn't even get a chance to fight there. That's okay, though. I mean, it is what it is. So we'll try again. And you can't really have a hard... I mean, what am I saying here? Mono red aggro is just sometimes a little too fast for us. But that's okay. I do appreciate you showing some love for this, for the budget decks that I build. Truth be told, I mean, sure, I can always play anything that's meta, but it's kind of boring after a while. I find it more challenging to kind of be limited to something that we can or can't do. So that's actually why one of those things I love about doing budget decks is it really kind of makes you really take the time to think about, you know, what works. And you really have to kind of visualize while you're looking at your cards what you can do with a limited budget, if you will. But that's what I actually have a lot of fun with. And I'm glad, I do appreciate that some of you out there do enjoy what I do. So thank you for that. Okay, Thundering Falls. Put that down first. Sneaky Toilet following now, also on Twitch. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Okay, we'll put down Strike Master here. Okay, so our opponent is playing... they're playing Poison. Not gonna lie, I do have plenty of Poison decks, and actually I'm gonna build one personally for my own Commander deck in the future, but against us right now, not something I want to see. But okay, we'll make it work, everybody. Don't worry. Sunset Strike Master. Okay, so now we gotta ramp very quickly here, or else our opponent will blow us up very fast. Lucas, current standard decks are just too many rares and mythic heavy. Yeah, but that's honestly why the reason I do what I do, because I know there's many of you out there that like playing Magic like I do. I have a lot of fun playing Magic, but the game sometimes is just too expensive, and it's gonna get worse with the next set coming out. Don't get me wrong. I know Final Fantasy is gonna be something that's super hyped by everyone, community or not, but I also understand there's a big chunk of the community that do not want the cards. But unfortunately, we're just gonna have to deal with it one way or another. So I think the best thing we can do until then is we're just gonna have to deal with it. And hopefully, to anticipate that, that's the sole reason why I do what I do. Because again, I like playing budget decks, and I'm sure many of you out there would love to play more Magic for less. Speaking of for less, our opponent's gonna make us now exile a card. Joy. Who would have thought a bat like this in Standard would have been so annoying to deal with? So it looks like they're playing, I guess it's kind of like a poison, I don't know, mono black mid-range deck? Oh, wait, no, they have green, never mind. It's Golgari mid-range. My mistake. Mountain again. So let's see, Dragonlord Servant. We're at 6 poison counters, which is a little too much for me, but we're going to try to get around it, everybody. Densplin, of course, saying I make my own decks. I mean, that's fair. I will give you that. Hold on. Let's counterspell this. Wait, do they have enough mana to... No, they don't. Okay. Let's counterspell that straight out. Too bad, opponent. No Renin Realmbreaker for you. But again, who buys packs for commons? Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, nobody really should be buying packs for commons. I mean, that's why you buy singles. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me get this down real quick, everybody. So, Savage Ventmaw coming down. We will get our mana back. Down to 17. Nice. We'll play Invasion of Tarkir. We will hit the bats. This now frees up Terror of the Peaks. There we go. Now we're back in this fight. Much better. Now, if we can get another dragon or two down, we should be able to then just turn this whole game around against our opponent here. Sneaky Toilet, didn't know you were on Twitch. Yes, I am. Actually, right now, I'm multi-streaming across a lot of platforms. Because I figured, you know, wait, why would I only just stream on Twitch? You can stream on, literally right now, I'm on X, Instagram, Twitch, Kick, although I had to reset Kick because I kind of fumbled a little bit there. But yeah, I'm across all the platforms. Trying to spread this fire... Bleh. Words are hard, by the way. Trying to spread the love of me and my passion for budget decks across every platform I can. Knowing that Final Fantasy is standard legal, it makes Explorer legal too. Yes, so we're all going to have to deal with that, whether we like it or not. So just something to be aware of, everybody, is that's just how it's going to be. Get the Terror of the Beast there. Proliferate. One more poison counter is all that stops us from losing, everybody. So let's try to see if we can get around this. Dang, I was really hoping we were going to get at least one more creature. One more creature. Terror of the Peaks would have been able to get rid of that Deep Cavern Bat. Okay, so how do we do this here? Is there any way out of this at all? I guess we just can't really swing. Just gonna have to wait for a second. Lucas, paper and silverback would have been neat on Arena. Oh, Pauper, I mean? Oh, yes. I would love to have Pauper. No, my opponent had the final piece there. It's fine. No big deal, everybody. It's okay. It's okay. We'll make it work next time. It is what it is. Fortunately, though, I don't really care about my rank all that much. I mean, if you care about ranked, more power to you, but ranked sometimes gets a little cheesy. So that's why I don't really care too much. If you can make it personally to Platinum, that's pretty much a good spot to sit at comfortably and still get the most amount of rewards for the least amount of effort if ever you actually are caring about rank over an arena. But yes, going back to what you were saying, Lucas, I would love to have Pauper. If we ever get Pauper as a legit format on Arena, I totally would be doing a lot more Pauper decks because I would love to show off how you can have a lot of fun playing Magic for way cheaper. Dense Planet. I play my room decks and suddenly 10,000 damage from that cactus. Oh yeah. You know that's all going to be... Everyone's going to be trying to do that day one. So we'll see how we can deal with that. But the good news, of course, is at least that cactus, the cactar, it's easy enough to get rid of. Everyone is going to see it coming. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, blue, you bounce it. What is it? Black, you just destroy. Same with white. Green, I guess you just out-ramp them. I don't know. But yeah, there's options for that. So it's not something I'm going to worry too much about. Forest. Let's play... Let's see, how do we do this here? Play Sarkhan. We haven't had a chance to play with new Sarkhan yet, so hopefully this one should be fun. Of course, our opponent has removal. Boo. It's okay. We swing down to 21. Lucas, Standard will always create problems in non-rotating formats. I mean, I think the best way I would explain it is if only we just got a better balance, because trust me, in my opinion, it was a bad idea to make Standard go more in a realm of just, how do I put this? I think we need a faster rotation for Standard, not a slower one. I get the notion of what Wizards wants to do with the game, but I disagree, and I think that, again, if we go faster, that means cards will rotate more, and bannings won't be as problematic to deal with. At least that's how I see it. But I could be wrong. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Should we have a faster Standard, or are you okay with the slower one? Or do you think we should have had Standard be kept as is? Let me know your thoughts, everybody. I would love to hear from you on that one. Okay, we got the up the beanstalk coming. That's good. Sneaky Toilet. Not sure if requests are a thing you do, but I've been looking all over for a Planeswalker deck. Well, the way I was originally trying to do it was I was going to try to make it where, and again, I'm not trying to pressure everybody, but I do have a Patreon where those of you that are interested, usually for those that pay for the higher tier, is where they can request personal decks that I will build and I actually will make deck techs out of. But I'm still a very small time streamer, so if you have a suggestion, there will be a day where I'm going to try to do a community build where the whole community for us can come together, and we'll put together a deck in the future. And also, if there's anything you're interested in seeing in the future as well beyond that, I do plan, of course, on doing another day where I'll be able to take on anyone of you out there. If you do want to play against me for a little bit of fun on stream. But we'll plan those out maybe just before Final Fantasy drops. So I'm planning those out as future streams. Otherwise, if you're interested in just throwing out fun deck techs or ideas... Oh, hold on one second. Our opponent is going to try to confiscate our up the beanstalk. No, 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 opponents. We're going to counterspell that. Submit nothing. Phew, that was too close. Okay. So, from here, Cavern Souls. Drag it again. Put the orb down. We will now Terror the Peaks. Draw a card. Nice. We swing. Down to 11. All right. Looking good. But it's still a control deck, so I'm still anticipating something miserable in just a moment. But honestly, I prefer Artisan to Pauper. Having an additional rarity makes it more enjoyable for me. I mean, yeah, I do like Artisan a lot. I do appreciate... Come on, opponents. Okay, our opponent right now at this point is really going to just try to make sure we don't do our thing, but that's okay. We're still going to do our thing. Okay, draw a card. Oh, we have the Draco Genesis in hand. Oh, okay. We'll wait a turn, everybody. We'll wait a turn. Confiscate. Annoying, but that's okay. I guess we'll let them take that. Okay, they're out of cards. Oh my goodness. Okay, we get to do this now. We get to do this. Okay, Maelstrom. Here's how we do this. Stormscale Scion in hand. Oh my goodness, we get to finally do this. All right, Mountain. Draco Genesis. Savage Ventmaw. Stormscale Scion. Storming off. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, opponent, you have one turn to beat down all of these dragons. Did they get the answer, though? Did they get it? Literally one card in hand. 3 steps ahead. Oh, desperation draw. But they have to discard a card still. Did they get it? Come on. This has to be game ending right here. That's it. There's nothing. Nothing you can do, opponents. Swing. Make all the mana that we don't even need at this point. Yes. Dragons. We did it. That was what we wanted already. That's what you want the deck to do. We managed to finally get a victory there, pulling off what we wanted. Dragonstorm. We got it. Yeah. All right. Note to self. Definitely highlight that one in the future in a clip. Okay. Okay, I'm so super happy about that. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's continue on. So at this point, even if our deck kind of fizzles for the remainder of the stream, at least we got proof that we can pull this off. Just once. I was really happy about that one. So, oh, that felt so good. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, so we got plenty of ramp, ways to cheapen out our Terror of the Peaks. Yeah, let's keep this hand. Oh, man, that was such a good one. Definitely going to reminisce about that one for today. All right, we'll play a mountain. All right, opponent, what do you got? Show me what you got.
It's time to do.
Oh, and at some point I will have to add on more audio clips, which I'm definitely going to do down the future. But I'm going to have to play around with it a bit. Verge, and we will play Strike Master. Okay. Lucas, 1-year-long format called Dynamic for the win. Ooh, that's spicy. Just a 1-year set of cards and then rotate? Okay. That's very fast, by the way. My theory is having a faster rotating format means that cards can't be too expensive for very long because you're more focused on just trying to acquire the singles you want if you want to play in a faster standard. At least that's my theory. But I know some people disagree with me on that one. First Lightning. All right, no surprise. They swing with Higher Claw. They ping. That's okay. Okay, down 18. Caverner Souls. Ape Higher. Dragonlord Servants. So if this all works out, we should be able to get Terror of the Peaks down next turn. Hopefully. We'll see. Screaming Nemesis. Another terror of mono red, but it is what it is. You can at least block right now the Claw. Down to 14. Alright. Up the Beanstalk. That's good. Cavern Souls on Dragon. Terror of the Peaks. We will not block. If we have to block, we can. So we'll get Up the Beanstalk out. Hopefully we can get another dragon going. We should be good to go here. The Gurgan. Yes. So far, the best Planeswalker deck I found is Black-White with Elspeth and Kaya. Okay. Interesting. I'd have to look at it to see what the deck list has, but I can kind of envision what it's trying to do. The question right now is trying to figure out, with Elspeth, the new one, what route should we take with the tokens? Do we focus on mono white? Do we go Boros? Borisov? I mean, there's plenty of options when it comes to tokens, because that card alone is literally an army in a can. It's really, really good with what it is. Alright, we'll block here. If the card dies, it dies. I don't want the Screaming Nemesis to stay on the field, but there's not much we can really do with it right now. Out of curiosity, though, now that you mentioned it, Sneaky Toilets, the best Planeswalker you found. Okay, so are you looking at this as a brew, or are you looking at this something that you've already kind of established? Oh, new Elspeth with the doll room. That might be something spicy. Our opponent turned off our life gain there. I mean, if they have to, they have to. Up the Beanstalk. You draw a card. Okay, so we got at least a counter spell, so I guess that's fine. Alright. Down to 15. Dragonlord Servant. Just ping for 1. Not much, but I guess we could do it. Now, all we need to do is just get a couple more creatures. We should be okay. We can block with our servants if we need to in a pinch. But yeah. That Dollhouse card or was it, I forgot the name of it, but yes, the room card that can create some toys, that actually might actually be pretty sweet for a mono white token deck. I don't know, there's a lot of opportunities you have with Elspeth. Lots of different ways you can go with her. Uh-oh. Survive the hit here? I'll find out right here. Alright, so block Emberheart, because I don't have a choice. Block the Higher Claw too. Solar Servant goes bye-bye. Okay, Terror of the Peaks again. Okay. We will... I guess we'll do it here. Okay, draw a card. Hit for 5. Okay. Not enough still. Dang. At least one more creature could have helped us out here. Just one more probably would have been nice. Sneaky Toilet. I made a couple of variants of it with what I have so far, but not sold on the power. Doll Room sounds epic for it, though. Well, the good news with the Doll House is you definitely... I mean, the Doll Room card definitely can give you a lot more tokens very quickly. I'm going to beat this here. That's okay, though. I'm still having fun. I'm still enjoying the deck overall, even though we're not quite winning. So sorry about that, everybody. But, I mean, hey, this is, again, my first real deck from the set. So we're still kind of mixing and matching and trying to figure out what works and what not works. But at the very least, it kind of helps us showcase a little bit more of what we're doing. Okay. Now, also, just giving everybody a heads up right now, in terms of the clock, we're looking at right now probably at most another 10 to 15 more minutes. So that's how much more time we have. And again, I do apologize because, again, we're on a little bit of a tighter schedule today than normal. But I still appreciate all of your support, everybody. Once we are done, I'm thinking we're probably going to look at maybe 1 or 2 more matches, and then we'll wrap it up from there. Once we're done with this, then we'll give our quick little overview of how the deck did, good, bad overall. We'll then give a final look at what's to come in the future. Just at least give everybody a heads up as to time-wise what we're looking at. Dreams of Steel and Oil. Yeesh. So much discard right now in the format. But I don't play Standard all that much. Usually I'm mostly an Explorer player and Brawl player. That's but also another White Room card that allows us to convoke and untap creatures. Yes! We'll see. There's definitely possibilities all over the place, so I'm just feeling pretty good about it. But it's going to take time for us to actually build it, because I don't know what's the best build yet. Alright, in the meantime, Converge Land. Dragonlord Servant. Sneaky Toilet. Kaya also makes tokens of enemy creatures you exile, which works nicely with the new Elspeth too. Oh, you're right. I totally forgot about that. That's a possibility too. So, I mean, there's a lot we can work with when it comes to the card. We're just going to have to play around with things and see what direction we want to go in. Dragonlord Servant again. Alright, come on, deck. A little bit more ramp right here will help us out. But our opponent most likely is going to play something really disgusting if they're playing this room. Okay. More removal. Dreams of Steel and Oil. Okay. We lose more cards. They draw cards, but they lose a little bit of life on the way. Cavernous Souls on Dragon. As an Eternal player, I don't care about rotation speed. I wish there was more bans. Okay. I mean, that's a fair point to make. There's a discussion I've read across several places. People that play paper versus digital. Interestingly enough, from what I've been reading and what I've been talking about with others is, it feels like if you're a person that plays more, I guess you would say more paper, you're less likely to have bans. And the reason for that is, I mean, you spend literal money on the cards, so I can understand why you don't want your cards banned, because it's just kind of expensive to then have to rebuild from that. On the other hand, those of you that are on digital, I can understand why you want more bans, just because of, again, how faster formats are figured out, and sometimes it gets very repetitive to deal with certain things over and over again. And speaking of repetitive, dang, we didn't get it again this time. Alright. Deck is not cooking as much as well as I thought it would, but that's okay, everybody. Okay, looking at the clock right now, I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 more matches, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let's actually make this... Actually, you know what? Let's do this instead. Let's make this a best of 3. That'll be the final one for today. Win or lose. Our final one in our upgraded version. Yeah, joy. Not an exciting match, everybody, but okay. We're going to play a best of 3 here. This will be the final one, a best of 3 with our upgraded deck. Again, it's not the most refined, but I'm working with whatever I crack from packs on Arena. So that's why if you're thinking we could do better with this deck, definitely I agree with you. It's not refined. But hey, I'm working with what I got, and I'm still having fun with the deck. We at least managed to see it go off at least once, so I'm satisfied with that. Not too shabby considering I've literally had only less than a day to brew. Like, literally, I squeeze it in whenever I can. All right, in the meantime, enough of me rambling. Let's see, we've got Thornspire Verge. All right, opponents, final one. Make it a good one for us. Where are you going? What's the rush, I may ask? Okay, so, small disclosure, this little fireball has, let's see, how do I put this? Let's just say I have a content manager that helps me work on stuff. But unfortunately, that means our time is tight because as much as I enjoy streaming, there's also other work that needs to be done. This fireball pretty much runs a lot of things on their own. So in other words, we're talking about trying to record for future deck techs, making shorts, but also we have real world stuff to deal with. So unfortunately, I'd like to stream more, but I just don't always have the time. However, we always try to at least stream 2 times a week, so at least there's going to be another shot to, of course, to talk about some more fun stuff. And again, there will be another stream. I believe I'm going to plan maybe for Saturday will be our next stream. So that's going to be an FYI for all of us. So yeah, my streams are usually 2-ish hours at most. Not that I don't want to do more, but yeah, that's literally all the time I have, just because there's other obligations I have to take care of. But I still appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate that, Sneaky Toilet. Good question, though. I know some people usually are used to like 3-4 hour streams, but I just don't have the time to do that. Gotta help out the content manager do some real world stuff. Big boy stuff, if you will. You know, like regular jobs and whatnot. But someday, if we ever get to a point where we don't have to do, you know, that kind of stuff, and I can do this full time, I would love to do it. But we're still a very small time person, so we're trying to hopefully build up to that over time. In the meantime, though, rather than me rambling more about what I would like to do, let's actually have some fun here with the remainder of this stream. See if we can flip this for Sarkhan. Oh, hold on one second, everybody. Let's see. I'll do a real quick little thing on here on screen. Apologize for that, everybody. Let's see. Okay, Maelstrom. The orb. Actually, hold on one second. Well, I'm also trying to do this here. Slight distraction, everybody. Don't worry. Submitting reports. Say no to spam, everybody. Always get one, at least one every stream. At least one. Don't worry. We'll deal with it. Oh, hold on one second here. Spell that. Submit. Phew. Okay. While being distracted to deal with some things here, we also were able to get rid of that Ugin before it became a problem. Unfortunately, though, the Ugin still got to do its thing. But that's okay. Okay. Big dragon here. Turn that on. Big swing here. Oh my goodness. So this is why I want Sarkhan on the deck. Look at how much mana we can make. That's insane, by the way. Down to 4. But man, we just can't use any of that mana for anything, which is kind of a shame. That's okay. Okay. And, alright, we got into the win there. Okay, going to game 2. Game 2, everybody. Okay, so, in the meantime, real quick. Sorry, I'm still a little sidetracked with here a couple things. Yeah. GG on that one. Yeah. Okay, so, our opponent is playing... How do we do this, then? The counterspells did help us out a bit there. Let's see. Servant. Invasion was good there for a moment there. Strike Master. Beanstalk. I guess we'll just kind of cut that Spelunking. You know what? I probably should just not have Spelunking in the upgraded version. I mean, there's not really a reason to have it, by the way. Odd deck. Yes, that's why I'm kind of having, like... I don't know. What should we do? Maybe I should bring in the Tyvar stand for a little protection. Or maybe... Is this the Ureni match? I mean, it's not really, because they're not playing... Let us... Maybe we'll bring in the rune scale for the counterspell stuff. And then from here, maybe cut one storm scale? I don't know. It's a goofy deck, and I'm kind of having trouble sideboarding for it, but that's okay. It's not the biggest deal for me right now. We're still trying to figure out dragons in general for this set. They play Ugin. Yes, we have to try to go fast, but that's my thought process when it came to the counterspells. We'll use the small dragon for the small counterspells, and we need to save our bigger counterspells for Ugin. Which, speaking of which, yes, we are going to build Ugin at some point. That's going to take a little bit of time for me. Maybe if I get it done later today, I might be able to get it up ready for the next stream. But it all depends. We'll see. All right. In the meantime, let's see what we can do here. Let us play Forest. And then up the Beanstalk. That's Sunset Strike Master. So we're pretty much good here on what we need. All right. In the meantime, up the Beanstalk. That's a good question. Maybe I should put it to a vote. Maybe not right here, right now, but those of you out there, what are your thoughts? Would you like to see an Ugin deck in Explore or Brawl? I mean, I have plenty of ways I can work with it. So I'm down for anything. Maybe I'll probably put that to a vote maybe later today. Okay, our opponent is ramping quick here. We gotta move quick. Alright, Dragon Lord Servants. The Thorn Spire. So at this point, I guess we're just going to have to just start swinging. So, Dragon Lord Servants. Strike Master. And go. You vote for Explore Ugin. I mean, that's no surprise. That's probably going to be the simplest way to do it. But I'm also curious about a colorless version. But we'll see. I'll think about it for a bit. I'm going to have to marinate on it, if you will. Okay, come on, deck. We have plenty of... Oh, never mind. They actually just blow us up there. That's okay. Still not getting what we need. All right, let's surveil. Let's see. Come on. No more lands. We need a creature. Okay, well, maybe a counterspell, I guess, might be okay. In the meantime, though... Regular Servant again. Opponents. I guess we'll put out the Invasion Tarkir now. We will hit to the face. Okay, come on. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? Alright, well, they're definitely going in on Teamer Dragons here. Ugh. Can their version be our version? Okay, so in the meantime, Commercial District again. Stormkill Scion, okay. Well, that's fine for future. So from here, if we can get out the Maelstrom, and then maybe we can go into our Ramping Dragon, that might be just enough. But we gotta keep mana open. Actually, I realized, oh, ooh, we don't have blue mana. Ooh, this is no good. They're swinging. Down to 12. Ooh, this might go to game 3. We'll see if we can try to get around it quick, everybody. They're definitely going off with a lot of Landfall Dragon stuff, which does kind of give me an idea for what I want to do once we get to our next future deck. So this gives me an idea for things. I just need to get the card itself. Oh, we didn't pack it. Ugh. Okay. No. Even if I do cast the dragon, it's not enough. We can't make any copies. So, never mind. Okay. But at least this gives me an idea of what we want to do. Okay, so Heritage Reclamation coming in for sure. And then... what else do we want? Okay. So we'll pack that. And try to figure out now what we don't need. Maybe we cut... This is tricky here. Or maybe we don't need the Rune Scale Storm Broods. Because I realized those only take down a mana value of 2 or okay. Yeah, I think we'll do it that way. Okay, final match, everybody. Win or lose. No matter what we do at this point, we're going to just try to see if we can go off as quick as possible. But no matter what happens, we're still going to try to just have some fun with it. Okay, so Verge going down. All right, opponent. Let's make this a good one. Another Verge. Dragon Lord Servants. Okay, one good land here should get us right to where we need. Okay, we did not get the land, so that's a little awkward. That's okay. Okay, maybe we can get Territory Peaks now for super cheap. Up the Beanstalk. Okay. Card draw coming. Surveil. Okay, still did not get the actual mountain we need, but that's okay. At this point... Let's get the Terror to the Peaks now. We just want to start pushing down power ASAP. Down to 17. Alright. Opponents. Overlord. Alright. They get their draw. Ugh. Okay. Not good, but we're going to see. They mill land. Wow, we're still not getting... Maybe I should have just kept all mountains. I don't know. Either way. No storming this time around. We just want to just push out power quick. Down to 13. Down to 5. So are we fast enough? They have a ton of cards in hand. Did we get there? Ill-timed explosions. So that means they're going to throw away something very big. Dang. So close. So close. Okay. Land. Taking down. Okay, so the forest here at least turns on something here. Not much, but it does help a little bit. Now, if we can get at least any dragon at this point, I think we might be able to close it out. We just need a dragon. Come on, deck. Ayavugan. Oh, jeez. Dang. We were just not fast enough. They exile what they need. They will now gain life and... Dang, that draws a card. Okay. Well, what was our next draw here? So at this point... Okay, it was a land, which doesn't help us out at all. Okay, I'm going to have to give it one more turn, because at this point, we can't stop Ugin. We don't have anything packed into the deck to stop it unless we just smash it. Up the Beanstalk again. Yeah. Alright, well, we tried, everybody. We really... Dang, we really tried. Alright. So, I mean, still... The deck can definitely do things, but we're still in the early phases of trying to figure out what works for us as dragons. Oh, yeah. Alright. Okay, opponent, you beat us. Even if I figure out what our next draw was, it probably wasn't going to matter because there was no way around that. Not the way I wanted to end the stream, but that's okay, everybody. I still appreciate all of you for at least checking this out. Okay, let's go to the wrap-up real quick to show you and talk about the deck briefly. Alright. Croissant Phage, okay. Free rare there, that's nice. Okay, so with that, that was basically it, everybody, for the Dragonstorm deck. So you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Truth be told, I actually do like what the deck is trying to do, but we still need to figure out, though, the most optimal way to get down more Stormscale Scions. The version I did do today, it does work great on a budget, because, again, if you want to play this in Standard, the deck is not going to cost you too much, but it's still a little clunky in some spots. But again, that's what you're going to get when it comes to a budget deck. So keep that in mind in the future. Certain things I probably would tweak a little bit here and there. At least for the budget one, we probably don't need Land of War Elves as much as I thought we do. Maybe we would probably put in that other dragon that actually can help dig out lands. So what is it now? There was a dragon here that does that. And it's in green. So we saw that earlier on. So I just wanted to show it off real quick. That card is... Okay, here it is. So this one right here I would probably replace the Land of War Elves with Sagu Wildling here, because for 1 mana, its Omen ability allows you to dig out a basic land. So that actually would be more on flavor for what this deck is trying to do. And it's also a 5-drop, so technically triggers off with Up the Beanstalk. So I think I would say that might be your better option if you want to stay more towards a pure dragon-focused build. So I think that probably would be better in the future. In terms of other parts of the budget, not much else I really want to say, except it can do stuff, but it is a little clunky depending on what you are trying to throw at your opponent there. Yeah, we didn't scale fast enough. We did not, but that's okay. That's fine. It's still a learning process, and don't worry, we will be revisiting dragons again a little bit later on. Maybe if not in another format like Explorer, definitely Brawl. One of those formats. In terms of the upgraded deck, I like what the upgraded deck is doing, but maybe we didn't build it optimally. But I'm still missing a lot of cards, even though I cracked like a ton of packs. So it's okay, though. We're still going to try to play around with it a little bit more in the future, and I definitely am excited to see what dragons can do once more people kind of figure out how to refine this. Sneaky Toilet. Okay, I'm going to head out. I imagine you're going to bounce too. Hope to catch you again next time. Enjoy your day, Infernoman. Well, thanks again for joining us today. Have a wonderful day, and always be sure to burn bright. Later. Okay. And then finally here, real quick, before we end this real quick, I like Teamer Dragons. I like what it's doing, but the only thing I just want to kind of tweak probably in the future with it is just kind of adjusting what our game plan is. We are a little bit all over the place, so maybe I would probably say if we want to just go all big, probably just up the beanstalk is what we need, and maybe trim down some of the cheaper stuff here. I'm not sure if I want to, though. The Strike Master and the Dragonlord Servant did help us out a bit, but there has to be a more optimal way to see if we can kind of refine this. I don't know. I'm going to play around with this in the future, maybe on my own personal time when I have some moments here. I would probably tweak also the mana base a little bit more because it didn't go in our favor as well as we did. There were a couple matches where we kind of drew clunky, so I might actually would rather bite the bullet and just get us the Surveil lands. At least that would fix us a bit better. And yes, they're tapped, but it would at least guarantee we get the colors we need when we need them. Yeah, I agree. The mana base needs a lot of fixing, but it's something, again, hey, we're all working on it together. We can all kind of play around with it if we all want to try out this deck. Now, speaking of that, if you do like any of the decks we played today, at the end of the stream, a little bit later today, I will, of course, put up links for you so you can all click on those and then check those out at your leisure so you can kind of play around with those. Maybe you like what you saw today and you want to add those to your future builds. Maybe you can make them even better than I did today. Hopefully you can, because mine were a little... they were okay, but they could definitely be much improved. But okay, that's pretty much all I have for that, everybody. I don't really have anything else to say except for that. So if you made it this far into the stream and you're here for us near the very end, thanks again for hanging in there, everyone, because you are my true fiery friends. And because of that, you're going to get a quick little sneak peek as to what's to come down the pipeline. So we're already working on finishing up the recordings for Abs and Rhinos here. I'm really, really excited for this one here. Hopefully it'll turn out decently once we actually get the final recordings done with the gameplay. As far as future beyond that, I'm looking at a Mardu Mobilize deck. I actually really like the mechanics, so we're thinking of something we can do with this game plan. So we're still playing around with that a bit. Still not sure what I want to do with Teamer, but I think it might be a Landfall Teamer Dragon deck, depending on where we want to go with that. So that's something that's still a ways away. We're working on that one. And of course, I may be looking at, if I was to guess for Sultai, maybe a Reanimator deck, or maybe actually maybe even a Sultai Ninja deck. I kind of had that as a kind of a cool idea, but I still am in the blue sky dreaming phase of it. I still need time to kind of get more cards and kind of plan that out. But that's where my thought process is, at least for the remaining clans of Tarkir, once we actually get those going. But otherwise, that's pretty much it, everybody. Thanks again one more time for everybody that hung in there with me today. Those of you that were watching across other formats. So what was it? Lucas Mozekjo? Sorry, I do apologize for that. I realized I was calling you Lucas for short, so I hope you didn't mind that. Ben Splendid, always my all-star who's always here. Appreciate you always being here. And I know Sneaky Toilet, you just pieced out right now, but thanks again for joining us today, and thanks for being a new fiery friend and part of the stream. So hopefully we'll catch you again here on stream again in the future. As far as those of you that are watching across other formats, thank you again. I saw, what is it, Digital Ghost over on Instagram there. I see your name, so thanks again for that. But if I don't see your name from other platforms, I do apologize. But any of you that were watching from like X or Kick or anything else, thank you one more time for all of your support. The replays will be going up on YouTube as soon as we're done, so you can catch those again at any time. They'll be up, of course, on Twitch, but YouTube is my permanent home if you ever want to catch what we do. So with that, that is it for today, everybody. We'll be doing this again very soon with another deck that is going to be focused on cards from Tarkir Dragonstorm. So have a wonderful week, everybody. And as always, like I'd like to mention to everyone, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again on the weekend, everybody. Later.